So look, I'm going to start off with this really great opportunity. It's a chance for you to learn martial arts, acting, all this great stuff. All you got to do is travel to Indonesia, pay me some money up front for these classes, and it'll be golden. What could go wrong? Let's talk about Hollywood Con Queen. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. Today I'm going to do a very quick review about Hollywood Con Queen, which is coming to Apple TV Plus on May 8th, 2024. It is an investigative piece into an unbelievable story about this con artist who snagged hundreds of people using Hollywood elites as their subterfuge. It is a fascinating documentary. It is very interesting. My hot take is I definitely think you should watch it. Look, it's a really interesting story about just an unbelievable con that involves using some very powerful people and kind of taking advantage of that power imbalance in a very uncertain time. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was well done. I thought the storytelling was, spot on. I liked the way that it progressed. It is a three-part series, and each part is fairly distinct, and they all kind of build on each other to tell the whole story. So definitely think you should check it out when it comes to Apple TV Plus. Look, if you have Apple TV Plus, you might as well watch it because it's pretty interesting. If you don't have Apple TV Plus, there's a lot of good content on Apple TV Plus, and this is just another thing to add. So all that being said, I'm going to tell you a little about the film, a few things I liked, a few things I didn't like. I'm not really going to go into the ending or spoilers because it's a true story. It's a documentary. You don't really need to know that. You can look that up online. You can read about it. You might already know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I didn't hear about the story. Maybe you have. So this is going to be spoiler free, so don't worry about that. But I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts and then jump out. So in Hollywood Con Queen, you have an investigation into this mysterious figure dubbed the Con Queen of Hollywood, who impersonates like very powerful industry women to get people to do very strange things for profit, but also just like strange requests and things like that. It is a fascinating kind of story, and seeing some of the lengths that these people will go to try to like get their break in Hollywood is interesting and also a little bit heartbreaking. The film kind of focuses on some of the victims at the start and then like goes into who this person was, and it is kind of a very interesting trip that you get to take. I definitely think you should take it. And things I liked about this movie, the first, I love the music. It starts really well with some really fantastic music. It helps to kind of like get you in the mindset of this endeavor and get you into the story. It's a subtle touch, but it really is a nice way to kind of like start this out. The second thing I loved, look, I loved the mystery. It starts as a like unknown of who this person is, and it starts by going into the like cons themselves. And I loved hearing about like the cons and like who this person was and like what they were able to do, what they were able to get people to do. It is just a really fascinating way to kind of like start the story. It kind of grabs you at the start. The first episode is really good at like pulling you in, and then the later episodes you get some more information. I love that about it. The third thing I loved the storytelling. Aside from the mystery at the start, the documentary progresses a lot by having recordings of this person in action, which I loved. Like, it's really more interesting to hear the actual words that this person said and hear like how they interacted. And that's just because some of the victims decided to start recording it. So you get this really fascinating insight through that. And then you also get stories from the victims themselves. One person kind of disguised themselves, but most of the other people are pretty open, and you get to hear like what they were going through and what they were thinking as this happened. And that is just a much more interesting way to hear the story. It's not someone like dictating to you what happened. You get to hear what happened from their own mouths and like what they were going through and what they were thinking. So I definitely like that. And the last thing I love, I love the way that it kind of progressed. The three parts are each distinct, and they all kind of build on each other and tell different aspects of the story. I'm not going to go into like what the later parts do because that would be spoilery, but I think it's a very smart way to tell the story, and it does kind of keep it moving and keep each episode feeling like its own, unique piece of this puzzle. So all that being said, things I didn't love as much about this movie. There's really only one thing and it's not a bad thing. I just wish that there was a little bit more follow-up. You get like a full picture of the story, but you don't get much of what happened after. And that could be because it's new. I think there was some text at the end that updated you a little bit about what happened, but there wasn't a ton of progress overall. And so I think that could be why you don't get a ton of follow-up. I would just like to hear some more like after the fact kind of information, and you don't get that. But again, I think it's probably because it's too new. So it's a minor point. And again, like if I want more, that's usually a good sign. Like it's usually a good thing if I want more from a story. So all that being said, Hollywood Con Queen comes to Apple TV Plus on May 8th, 2024. Like I said, I definitely think you should check it out. And if you do see it, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. Let me know what got right and wrong. I would love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.